Our next guest is Dr. Tim O'Shea, and Dr. O'Shea is an author and a lecturer in the field of vaccines. He's been lecturing in this field for more than 10 years. He's an expert on the swine flu vaccine. So, Dr. O'Shea, without any further ado, can you tell us a bit about this whole swine flu thing that's going on, and tell us about the 1976 swine flu disaster?
Well, that's a good enough place to start, Dr. Gringieri. I do a full day seminar, an 8-hour seminar on vaccines. I do it all over the country and several other countries, and I have a whole section now that I do specifically on swine flu. And in that seminar, I start by, you really can't, everybody thinks that they understand what we're talking about by swine flu. Everybody assumes that we all know what we're talking about by H1N1. And there's a lot of presuppositions here, so I always like to start at the beginning and kind of define our terms. The term swine flu originated back in 1976, and it was back in 1976. The story was that there was a soldier. He was in a training exercise at Fort Dix back east, and he collapsed from exhaustion. And the story goes that supposedly they found this virus in this soldier's body, and it was an unusual virus, and supposedly someone thought that it might be found in swine. And so even though they had never seen this virus before, and even though it was never proven that this soldier died of that virus, and even though no person was ever identified with that virus in his body again, causing any disease or death subsequent to that one soldier, the National Institutes of Health at that time, they were poised, they were ready. They were ready to launch a global pandemic vaccine program, and this was the trigger that they needed. Now, I'm really compressing this story. So, at that point, in a very short time, it's such a parallel of what's going on today. In a very, very short time, in just a matter of weeks, they invented a vaccine. They invented a man-made vaccine in the laboratory. Okay. They disseminated that vaccine to the general public after just a number of weeks. In fact, they vaccinated 50 million Americans. They stopped after 10 weeks, after 25 people died and almost 600 people became paralyzed. They go, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Congress eventually paid out $400 million in damages for that disaster, and then they stopped vaccinating, like I say, after 10 weeks, after they realized what a huge mistake it was. Now, having studied this, it's very difficult. It's almost like they've expunged history. When you try to research the real history of what happened in 1966, it's very, very difficult because it's like the information has just disappeared. But what I found out was this. They didn't really take that. They really didn't take that virus that they found in that one soldier and culture a vaccine. 50 million doses from that one virus. What they did was, in order to get the immunity. Here's their expression. They're using the same expression now. In order to get the protection out faster, what they did was they took that virus and they coupled it. They coupled it with a very virulent, a second viral form which had extremely high virulence. It's very dangerous, right? In order to make the vaccine more reactive, their expression was to get the protection out faster. It's the exact same phrase that they're using today. And that's what this injudicious course of action is what led to that disaster at that time. So that was the original 1976 story.